Weida, right? It is a heavyweight bout, 6 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it again. Take 2. Ready? It's a heavyweight bout, 8 rounds of boxing. The beast from Butler, Brian Minto, 22-1 with 13 knockouts against Troy Weida, 44-20-2 with a big 31 knockouts. Teddy.
Well, you look at Troy Weida, he's got 31 knockouts. That's more fights than Brian has. But I think he's in the later stages of a less than glorious career. And I think Brian is on the upslide of a tremendous career. So it's be interesting to see how these two go at each other.
You know, naturally, Brian, he brings the whole hometown of Butler with him to the fight, so he's got the home field advantage here.
And he's donning the white trunks with a black trim and that red bullseye Iron City beer, and he packs a lot of iron in those fists. Let's talk about the career of Brian Minto. Vinny Matalone, of course, the big story, but how's he changed and what's made him a better fighter, Teddy?
Really, he's gotten so technically sound, and I think he's got very, very good balance. His defense has improved tremendously, and if you look at his punches, they come straight down the pike, both lefts and rights. There's no wasted energy, and I think that's what makes Brian a good heavyweight. Even though he's on the lighter end of the heavyweight scale, he really has all the technique and speed to go along with it so that it makes up for his strength or his size.
Also, he's probably one of the fewer boxers. He has great leg work, and he plants those legs when he's throwing a punch. I mean, he's got strong legs.
Well, that's that former linebacker. He has to tackle those big guys with those legs, and that gives him a lot of his balance. It truly does. And if you look, he's a very technically sound fighter.
And we're going to talk to John Banasak, who's behind us, member of 3 Super Bowl champion Steelers team, defensive MVP of that Super Bowl known as Super Bowl 14. A hard left on the head of Weida by Brian Minto. John Banasak joins us, and just, is he here? Got him?
I'm
okay.
right on here, yeah.
He's here. Let's talk about the footwork as being a linebacker and a boxer.
Well, you can see an awful lot of similarities in the game of football and in boxing. You've got to have perfect footwork in order to have the proper leverage to throw that short punch and make it work.
Hey, John, what's a great tackle? It's a tackle that you go through the guy's body. What's a great punch? A punch that goes through the guy's body. They're very similar.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, you know an awful lot about both of those, don't you? I'm only a ranked amateur sitting ringside here watching Brian Minto just work this guy over. He's throws an awful lot of punches, but he lands some sharp punches. You're absolutely right. He throws it right through this kid's head.
But it's much like you say, the athleticism really shows in Brian.
Well, you can see that when he bends his knees and he's throwing it from the hip, you can see the power in every punch. It absolutely is amazing sitting this close to it.
He's just an Iron Man.
He is an Iron Man.
He just hit him with a tremendous left and right.
You know, earlier he missed that left, and I think he found it right there.
Final 10 seconds of the opening round. We'll keep it here between rounds.
And if you notice, Brian's taking his time. He's not rushing in. He's really planning his punches.
Brian, by the way, is 215 at this fight tonight, and he purposely went up 10 pounds, and he said this was going to be the test to see if he could keep his speed, and if he could and keep his footwork fluid, he would stay 215 as he furthers his career.
Well, he looks really good, but I'm not sure that this is the test that you want to make against this boxer for that. I'm not sure that Troy is going to give him the kind of reaction that some of the other faster boxers are. I think he's going to have to play with that for a bit.
Well, certainly speed is, you know, Brian's speed is certainly much quicker than Troy's speed. I think this was a good fight for him to go up 10 pounds. To be able to obviously go as many rounds as he can go with the additional weight on, he has to get bigger in order to advance himself from here.
Certainly in the heavyweight division, the bigger guys are really ruling the roost right now. Although you've got a Chris Bird there at 205 because of his speed and balance and athleticism. He's a world champion.
We talked a few weeks ago to him on your chat pack, which is seen every Sunday at 12:30 throughout the tri-state on FSN. And if you're hooked up to the satellite across the country from Mountaineer, we talked about Bird, Brewster, Klitschko, who would be the best for him. And he talked about Bird a little bit and Brewster, but this kid is a couple of fights away from being on the cusp of a world title fight. They love him. He's got charisma, and he's got, well, let's put it this way, the right idea on what a heavyweight needs to have to be a marquee player in heavyweight history as far as Madison Avenue is concerned. Double left that time, Throwing the left off of the jab was Brian Minto.
That's the kind of technical improvement that Brian's made. Being able to throw a double left like that. Before, he wasn't able to do that. But Tommy Yankello has worked with him, and you can just see the improvement in Brian as a boxer. Pure boxer.
Pure boxer, no sloppiness, very methodical tonight. He's picking and choosing the swings he wants to do, and he's making them count, and he's landing them.
He is. He's landing a lot of left jabs. Very poetic with that jab, and look, just so poignant. He is tattooing the eyes, both left and right. That little mouth starting to form under the eyes of one Troy Weida, who comes in here tonight, remember, with 31 knockouts. And to be able to knock another human being out at any level, but in the heavyweight division, that means a lot. And one thing Brian has told us, no matter who you're fighting, it truly comes down to, as they've said in heavyweight history, one punch can change a fight immediately.
Yeah, and Troy is going up against the ropes, if you watch, with his hands down. He's putting himself in a very dangerous position to be up against a fighter like Brian.
Brian Minto, the beast from Butler, one-time linebacker for Butler High, who has made a career and is continuing to do well as a heavyweight fighter. That left and that hook off the left just has improved so much since the last time we've seen Brian fight here just a few short weeks ago, where his new home is Mountaineer Racetrack, where champions are born.
And that's not just a tapping jab, that's a powerhouse jab. That jab does a lot of damage.
Kenny, let's talk about that damage. And now the uppercut, solid left to the head,
solid.
another left and a right, and Weida looks a little shaken, and the beast, Brian Minto, starts to measure his fighter with a crisp right hand to the chin, and they won't break them and push him to the center of the ring.
If you look, Weida's arms are down around his waist when he's caught up against that ring. Very dangerous position.
John, obviously balance is everything in sports, and that's one thing that this kid possesses. He's got great balance.
He's got great balance, he's got great footwork, and he's in excellent condition. He is definitely, this is at the end of the second round, and he's not even breathing heavy. He's just throwing leather out there.
John is a firm believer in conditioning, and no matter what that sport is. And, you know, you can just see the gait in Brian Minto, how he walks out. Oh, look at that short left hand and a long left jab that's perfectly as far as the timing is concerned. And Brian Minto is just taking big-time control of this fight. Final 10 seconds of round 2.
Well, he's opened himself up a little bit. Brian got a little bit sloppy with his defense. And remember, Troy Weida's knocked over 30 opponents out, so he's got to watch.
That's the end of the second round. Back with more here. IC Light Fight Nights at the beautiful Harv at Mountaineer Racetrack and Gaming Resort in Chester, West Virginia.
Very impressed. He's a boxer.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of credit goes to Tommy too. Tommy Yankello's keeping him.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Know.
Yep.
Better every time out.
I tell you what, you can see this kid. He's got the look of the eye, man.
He's hungry.
He really does.
Of Kewanee, Illinois, in the blue corner. Brian the Beast Minto of Butler, PA, in the red. Round 3.
It is round 3. Brian Minto, Troy Weida, couple of heavyweights throwing some leather here tonight. Ted.
Well, Brian continues with that powerhouse jab, and every time he does, Troy Weida's head snaps back, and you can see those mouths form right under each eye, but that left eye is really taking a beating.
And I'd say tonight fight, 90% of his punches have been the upper body. I don't think he's worked the lower body at all.
Not at all.
And he's scoring points.
Brian Minto, very stiff left jab. He is an artist with that left jab. And that's something, if you notice his feet, so poised, pivoting off the right foot, either right or left, whenever it calls for that. And his defense has improved. Look at him, he just swats those punches away.
Well, Troy tried a sweeping left hook, and he just picked it right off. But Troy, in order to even get in this fight, is going to have to increase his punching output because it's just very weak. And I just got a feeling that Brian's wearing him out with that jab.
And I'm impressed with the number of punches that Brian's thrown in this fight. You just don't see that in the heavyweight fights that I've seen.
You don't, John. John Banaszak with us. Joins us on KDK Radio along with Ted Arnaud on the Hard Rock Black and Gold Sunday show.
If you remember watching the Vinny Maddalone fight, this is a typical Brian fight. He wears them out. He's not a one knockout puncher. He just wears them out, tears them apart, and a lot of it is that hammerjack left.
You can see, though, where at one time, and still possessing power as Troy Weida, But obviously his career has kind of gone on a little too long to where he hasn't been able to turn that bench. So this would be a great opportunity for him to get his name back out there quickly. And now the blood has begun. That mouse has finally opened up under the right eye of one Troy Weida. Look at Brian Minto. He turned away from the punch and he had his hand up to protect himself as he got out of the corner.
That's the typical Yankello roll. Keep that left up and roll your shoulder to block the punch.
Brian Minto getting close. This fight could end within the next 2 rounds. I'm pulling a 10 or no on you. That's a straight right hand from one Brian the Beast Minto. And now he measures him again with another right hand directly above us here ringside at the Harv in West Virginia.
One thing that Brian does have to watch, the heads are getting awfully close. And he certainly doesn't need a headbutt right now. He's so far ahead in this fight. He's got Brian Weida leading in, and he's got to watch the clash of heads.
Weida starting to try to impose his will on that 240 pounds or so. A couple of left jabs again, straightens him up, and the 5th left jab of this series, and a chopping right hand that just missed, and he follows through with a left that grazes the shoulder of one Troy Weida.
I think if Brian did just a little bit of body work, this thing would be, it's all over.
Standing 8 count for Troy Weida.
It's all over.
He's stumbling back to the corner and bleeding profusely out of both eyes. Those mouses have opened up. He's at 6. He's at 7. He'll brush the gloves. Will he let him continue? He tells him to walk forward.
No, he's out.
Nice.
He's out.
It's over. Is it over?
It's over.
Ends the round. Let's see where we're at here.
I think it's the round.
Ends the round.
He was just saved by that round. He was out on his feet. I think, my opinion, that fight should have been called. Right.
I absolutely agree with you guys.
I mean, we got a good close-up right here to see, and he didn't look too coherent.
He had some drain damage.
They called it. They just called the fight.
Yeah, they should have called the fight. That's a good call.
We'll come back with the official decision.
Great call.
It's
Great
over.
call.
They stopped the fight. We'll be back in a moment.
Joey Porter, look-alike. Joey Porter in the house tonight, by the way.
He just kicked him out of the ring.
Joey Porter's in the house. The
Casey